Hello, my name is Dr. Sarah Wooten, and I am here today to help you learn everything there is to know about ear mites in cats. So you've Googled it, and you've looked at the pictures, and you've read the descriptions, and you're pretty sure your cat has ear mites, but you're not sure, and so you're here watching this video right now, right? Right? Did I get it right? So ear mites are very common in cats, unfortunately. I saw ear mites at least once a week when I was in practice. And so there is a lot of information out there on the web, and I just thought it would be a good thing to have a video out there by Doctor. Hello, Doctor, that's me. To tell you everything you need to know as a consumer about how, what, where, who, everything that is going on with ear mites. So ear mites are tiny, and I mean microscopic little critters that infest the ears of cats. And they live in the ear and sometimes on the ear. If you look very closely at a cat's ear that has ear mites, not that you necessarily want to do this, but if you ever did, you can actually see these little things moving around. They're tiny, tiny, tiny little specks that move, tinier than the head of a pin. And it's pretty gross, right? So I actually have a dermatology book here today, so I'm going to be showing you some pictures. So when you see gross pictures pop up, I'm sorry, not sorry, but you're given full warning to look away because some of these little pictures can be a little bit gooey and gross, all right? So ear mites have a Latin name. You may hear a veterinarian call them otodectes. However, that's not really important unless you want to impress your friends at a dinner party, right? What is important is that ear mites are highly contagious and highly irritating, and even dogs can contract ear mites. Yeah, and you just need a little contact between the animals from the ear mites to jump from one animal to another. So they live about 3 weeks, not very long, and they continually produce eggs, which perpetuate the infestation, right? So you think, oh, only 3 weeks, no problem. Well, by the time those mites are dead, they've birthed a whole bunch of new mites that's causing more problems. Fortunately, humans don't get them, right? So you don't have to worry about these disgusting little critters jumping off your cat and coming to live in your ear. That's good news, right? So ear mites cause pretty predictable symptoms in cats. In fact, I can, just by looking at a cat, by looking at it, even if it's a couple feet away, I can often tell you whether this cat is going to have ear mites or not. So ear mites in cats typically will produce a dark brown to black coffee ground-ish type discharge that's in the cat's ear. The ear itself will be very red, and they may lay their ears flat because they're so irritated. And oftentimes cats will scratch their ears raw. So the other thing that I notice about ear mites is that when I tend to take a swab of that black discharge, the cat gets so itchy that they start doing that at their ear. So it's pretty predictable. So if when I was in practice, ever suspected ear mites, I would take a swab, and then I would put that swab on a microscope slide, and then I would look at it. And if I saw this, then I would know what I was dealing with. So this is a mite right here. This is what it looks like under a microscope. And you can actually see them crawling around, and you can see them having sex. Yeah, we actually call it an ear mite orgy, right? And you can see their eggs as well. They look like clear ovals. And then here's a couple of pictures of cats that actually have ear mites. So if you notice the out part of this cat's ear really irritated a lot of crusts. This one, do you see? So this is the tip of the ear here, and they've scratched this raw. And then this is looking down into the ear of a cat that has ear mites. See that black right there? That's that discharge I'm talking to you about. And all that is that's what the that's what the ear mites are digesting and leaving behind, right? Okay, now that we're all grossed out, you ready to keep going? Let's do it. So how do you treat these things? Fortunately, ear mites are pretty easy to clear. It can be cleared by some over-the-counter medicines. However, what you need to know is most of the over-the-counter medicines are labeled for use in dogs and are not to be used in cats because they're toxic. Sometimes I've seen people use these medicines and then come in because they have caused another problem entirely. Oh, and by the way, the cat still has mites, right? So we don't want to use those over-the-counter ones. Ear mites can be safely and completely eradicated by veterinary recommended products. One of the cheapest and most versatile that I've used is ivermectin. Ivermectin kills mites. It needs to be formulated correctly because you can overdose a cat on ivermectin. So it is best always to go through a vet and have them prescribe this. One of the most common prescribed ivermectin products, at least it used to be, was Acarex, ACAREXX. And it was just in 2 tubes, and you put it in both ears, and voila, it stays in there long enough to kill all the adult mites and kill all the mites that are hatching, which takes several weeks. And that is a good product. It's also really important that when you are treating ear mites that you not only kill all those adults, but you kill anything that hatches. Because if you just treat the adults that are in there, and about a week later, you're going to see symptoms come back. Also, sometimes these cats can develop secondary bacterial or fungal infections in their ears. So you clear up the mites, but then the ears still look like crap and they look infected and red. What the heck is going on? Is this medicine not working? Well, yes, the medicine worked and it killed the mites, but then the cat has an otitis, an inflammation of the ear, and a bacterial infection or fungal infection, because what the mites do is they break down the surface of the skin inside the ear, and then that makes it a lot easier for bacteria and fungus to colonize. So if that happens, then your cat needs to have an additional medication that includes an antibacterial and or an antifungal and or an anti-inflammatory. So if that's the case and you're noticing that you've treated the ear mites and you're still having problems, that could be what is going on. The only other thing I want to say on this topic is that Bravecto, which is a flea and tick medication that is labeled for use in cats, also I've been using it off-label for years for mites. It's not labeled for use in mites, but we have found out through trial and error that it actually works. So utilizing Bravecto could be another way. But just talk to your vet and see what they're recommending, because you really do need to get a veterinary involved, not only to prescribe you the correct medication, but also to check those ears in about 3 weeks after you start medicine to make sure that you've killed all the mites and there are no more eggs, right? So they need to look and see if there's going to be any more reason to continue treating. Hope that makes sense. So all of that to say, ear mites can be a pain in the ear, but they are easily treatable. They're very common. And with a veterinarian's help, you can definitely combat ear mites in your family. One last thing to say on that topic, these ear mites are contagious. So until your cat has been cleared by the vet that there are no more mites to be spread around, keep your cat isolated, okay? Don't want to share the ear mite orgy with anybody else, all right? So thank you so much for watching. I hope the video has been educational. If you have any topics you would like me to cover, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. Otherwise, carry on, cat parent soldiers. You're doing a great job. I will see you next time.